High Counselor Xylophone adjusted his ceremonial robe for the 14th time in as many minutes, his crystalline appendages clicking with barely contained irritation. The annual Memorial of Lost Species was supposed to start exactly 6 minutes ago, but Ambassador Kirk was still trying to figure out how to dim the floating luminescent spheres to what she called appropriately mournful levels. "Ambassador," Zexophone's voice resonated through his speaking crystal, "perhaps we could proceed with slightly brighter illumination than regulation specifies. We do have a schedule to maintain." The grand chamber of the Galactic Council stretched before him, its sweeping architecture designed to accommodate over 300 species of sentient beings. Today, representatives from every major civilization in the known galaxy had gathered for their most solemn ceremony, though some of them still couldn't quite grasp the concept of solemn. "My most sincere apologies, High Counselor," the Graxian delegate called out from somewhere in the back, their gelatinous form vibrating with excitement. "But I simply must know, will we be sharing memories of the humans again this year? I've prepared the most fascinating account of how they used to—" Yes, Xylophone interrupted, his crystalline form briefly flickering purple with annoyance. "As always, we will observe the traditional sharing of memories after the opening ceremony, which we cannot begin until—" The lights finally dimmed to the precise level specified in subsection 7.3 of the Memorial Protocols. Ambassador Kirk chittered triumphantly from her perch near the ceiling. Zexophon glided to the central podium, his robe now adjusted a 15th time. "Distinguished delegates of the Galactic Council of Civilized Species, we gather today to commemorate the 15th Annual Memorial of Lost Species, with special focus on perhaps the most puzzling extinction in our collective history, the mysterious disappearance of species designation humanity." The chamber fell silent, save for the quiet whirring of various life support systems and one Methalonian in the back, who was still trying to figure out how to mute their atmospheric recycler. 50 standard solar cycles ago, Zexophone continued, his tone achieving the exact frequency of solemnity required by regulation, our monitoring stations detected an unprecedented energy surge from the planet Earth. When our investigation teams arrived, we found a planet completely devoid of human life. No signs of warfare, no evidence of natural disaster. They had simply vanished. A collective murmur rippled through the assembly. The Graxian delegate wobbled excitedly. "As is our tradition, we will now share memories of this lost species." Zexylophone's crystals dimmed respectfully. "Who would like to begin?" 17 appendages of varying compositions shot into the air. Zexylophone pointed to a particularly ancient xenon-based being in the front row. "I remember," the Elder's translator crackled, "how they would intentionally consume neurotoxins for pleasure, ethanol I believe they called it, and then they would gather in groups to vibrate rhythmically while making loud noises." "Most fascinating," Zexylophone nodded. "Ambassador Tilclick?" The insectoid ambassador raised all 4 of her primary limbs. "My research indicates they would often communicate through the exchange of small, pictographic representations of facial expressions. Truly primitive, yet somehow charming." "I heard," a voice called out from the back, "that they kept smaller animals in their dwellings, not for food, just to pet them, and they would show other humans pictures of these creatures for hours." The chamber erupted in a cascade of increasingly outlandish human memories. Zexylophone was just about to call for order when a priority communication alert blazed across the chamber's holographic display. "Oh look, identified vessel detected at sector boundary. Concerning unknown. Genus Ignaci. Error, pattern not found." "High Counselor," a junior communications officer's panicked voice cut through the chaos. "Sir, you need to see this. The vessel, it's broadcasting an old Earth frequency." Zexophone's crystals flashed a completely unprofessional shade of alarmed magenta. The massive display screen flickered to life, revealing a sight that would violate at least 37 protocols concerning the sanctity of memorial ceremonies. It was unmistakably a human ship, and emblazoned across its hull in what the database identified as the human writing style, Comic Sans, was a message that would send the entire Galactic Council into bureaucratic chaos. "Hey, MS, sorry we're late. We had to grab snacks." "Well," Zexlafon managed, his crystals now cycling through colors not seen since his academy days, "this is going to require significantly more paperwork." The Galactic Council's emergency response protocol was exactly 2,387 pages long. Nowhere in those pages was there a procedure for handling a supposedly extinct species showing up with snacks. "Greetings, Galactic Council." The human on the view screen beamed at them, casually munching on something that the computer identified as a Doritos Locos Taco. "Captain Sarah Martinez of the HMS Sorry We're Late, but my friends call me Jazz Hands. Actually, everyone calls me Jazz Hands. It's not really optional." Zexylophone's crystals were now strobing through colors that hadn't been seen since the Great Paperwork Crisis of 3157. This is highly irregular. Species designation humanity was officially declared extinct 50 standard solar cycles ago. "Oh, that?" Captain Martinez waved her taco dismissively, sending a few shreds of nacho cheese floating in zero gravity. "We're not extinct. We just went offline for a bit. You know how when you're downloading a really big update and your computer's like, this might take a while, grab a snack? It was kind of like that, but with our entire species." The council chamber erupted in chaos. The Graxian delegate had become so excited they'd lost structural cohesion and were now being hastily collected into a containment field. Ambassador Kirk was frantically trying to find the regulation light level for supposedly extinct species reappearing with fast food. "Dave, pull up the presentation," Martinez called over her shoulder. "The one with the cute animations." "Must I?" A deeply sarcastic voice responded from off-screen, the one with the cartoon Earth giving a thumbs up. "You know it." The main display split and a surprisingly professional holographic presentation appeared alongside Martinez's feed. The title slide read, "So You Think We're Extinct, A Human's Guide to Taking a Civilization-Wide Gap Year." "Okay, so," Martinez clapped her hands together, accidentally launching her taco across the bridge. A robotic arm smoothly caught it and returned it to her. "Thanks, Dave." "Anyway, about 50 years ago, we figured out how to phase our entire civilization into a pocket dimension. You know, like when you really need to clean your room, so you just shove everything under the bed? Same concept, but with quantum physics." The presentation showed a simplified animation of Earth disappearing into what appeared to be... was that a blanket fort? "But why?" Zexophone managed, his voice hitting frequencies usually reserved for philosophical crises. "To build the galaxy's biggest pillow fort, obviously." Martinez took another bite of her taco. "See, we had this whole civilization-wide vote about what to do with our breakthrough in dimensional physics. Option A was use this technology to solve all of humanity's problems through careful research and implementation. Option B was build the biggest pillow fort ever. It wasn't even close." The presentation showed a pie chart. Option B had won with 98% of the vote. The other 2%, Dave's voice dripped with artificial disdain, wanted to build a blanket fort instead. They were summarily ignored. "The council requires..." Zexophone paused, trying to process the situation through the lens of bureaucracy, "evidence of this pocket dimension. And perhaps an explanation of why you've chosen to return now?" "Oh, sure," Martinez brightened. "Dave, show them the fort." The display changed to show what could only be described as architectural impossibility given physical form. A structure the size of a small moon floated in what appeared to be a dimension made entirely of comfortable things. Pillows the size of continents formed walls that shouldn't have been structurally sound. Blankets that defied physics created warm, cozy spaces that somehow incorporated advanced laboratories and living quarters. "We would have stayed longer," Martinez explained, "but we ran out of popcorn. Also, we kind of solved faster than light travel while we were in there. Turns out the secret was getting really, really comfortable. Who knew?" "And you spent 50 years building this?" a junior council member asked, their tentacles twisted in confusion. "Well, no," Martinez grinned. "We finished the fort in like a week. The rest of the time we spent developing what we're calling quantum comfort technology. Want to see something cool? Before anyone could respond, the human ship began to transform. Its hull shifted and morphed, panels sliding and rearranging, until, is that Zexlophone's crystals paled to an almost transparent state? Is that a giant reclining chair? With cup holders, Martinez announced proudly. Dave, show them the cup holders. I live in perpetual fear that someone will ask about the cup holders, Dave sighed, but complied. The council watched in stunned silence as humanity's first returning vessel, now shaped like the universe's most comfortable chair, deployed what appeared to be an infinite array of beverage-holding capabilities. So anyway, Martinez continued, seemingly oblivious to the existential crisis she'd just induced in the galaxy's governing body, we were hoping to rejoin the council. We brought snacks to share. Also, unrelated, but has anyone ordered pizza in this sector in the last 50 years? Because we have some thoughts about that. Zexiophone looked down at his emergency protocol manual, then at the giant space chair with its infinite cup holders, then back at his manual. He was going to need a bigger manual. Day 1 of investigation. The Council has tasked me with investigating human technological developments during their 50-year absence. I have been chosen for my expertise in extinct species study, which is apparently now irrelevant. My assistant keeps reminding me, this is ironic. I do not appreciate irony. The humans have granted me full access to their facilities aboard what they call the Millennium Lazy Boy. I must note that this is neither Millennium Age nor, as far as I can determine, actually a boy. Initial observations. Their entire ship appears to be one giant comfort delivery system. The walls are soft, the floors are soft, even the control panels are soft. When I inquired about this, Captain Jazz Hands Martinez explained, hard surfaces are for quitters. I have added this to my list of human proverbs that make no sense. Day 2. Today I witnessed their FTL drive in action. It defies all known laws of physics, which the humans seem unreasonably proud of. The drive core is essentially a large room where humans gather to tell what they call dad jokes. The worse the joke, the faster the ship goes. Transcript of test drive. Captain Martinez, why don't scientists trust atoms? Engineer, why? Captain, because they make up everything. Ship achieves 97% light speed. Chief Engineer, what did the quantum physicist say when he wanted to fight another quantum physicist? Captain, what? Engineer, let me atom. Ship breaks light speed barrier. Dave, I hate all of you. Ship achieves new speed record. I am beginning to suspect Dave's sarcasm is actually part of the propulsion system. Day 3. Humans have developed weapons that run entirely on puns. They demonstrated their play-on-words cannon, which fires concentrated streams of weaponized wordplay. The results are disturbing. Test footage transcript. Weapons officer, time to make like a tree and leave. Cannon fires. Target dummy becomes covered in foliage, falls over. Weapons officer, looks like that dummy is bored now. Cannon fires again. Target dummy transforms into actual board. Dave, these puns are beneath even my programming. Cannon power increases by 47%. When I asked why they would develop such technology, Lieutenant Rodriguez explained, because it's punny, and then high-fived 3 other crew members, while Dav audibly sighed through the ship's speakers. Day 4. Today I inspected their quantum comfort technology research lab. The scientists wear lab coats made of blanket material. Their primary research tool appears to be what they call a lazy boy particle accelerator. It's a recliner that somehow splits atoms. Key findings. They've developed something called quantum cushioning. They can fold space-time like a warm blanket. They've weaponized coziness. Their coffee machines violate at least 3 laws of thermodynamics. When asked how they achieved these breakthroughs, Chief Scientist Dr. Chen said, we just kept asking, but what if it was comfier? This appears to be their entire scientific method. Day 5. I have discovered that their massive space stations are indeed shaped like recliners. They call them orbital comfort platforms. The largest one includes a zero-gravity pillow fighting arena, something called a blanket fort research institute, a dad joke generator the size of a small moon, a food court serving only comfort food from 47 different species. The humans have also revealed they spent several years developing what they call tactical napping technology. They can now weaponize sleep itself. I watched a demonstration where they made an entire asteroid field take a nap. The asteroids are still snoring. Day 6. More disturbing discoveries about their technology. Their ships run on a mixture of caffeine and spite. They've developed FTL communication by monetizing Dave's sarcasm. Their navigation system is based on something called vibing. They can quantify comfort levels down to the snug particle. Personal notes. I am beginning to question everything I know about technological development. The humans have achieved in 50 years what most civilizations couldn't in millennia, and they did it all while actively trying to make the universe more comfortable. Their entire society seems to operate on the principle of, what if we made it cozy, followed by, but what if we made it weapons? The truly terrifying part is that it works. Recommendation to the Council? We must re-evaluate our understanding of human civilization. They are not extinct. They are not primitive. They are just incredibly comfortable. Also, I would like to request one of their quantum comfort chairs for my office, for research purposes only, of course. Addendum. Dave would like me to add that they also spent 3 years developing perfect pizza delivery technology because, and I quote, "Cold pizza is a crime against the universe." When I pointed out this seemed an inefficient use of resources, Captain Martinez showed me something called space pizza. I need to lie down. Final note. The humans have offered to upgrade my standard issue Council research pod with what they call maximum comfy technology. I am maintaining professional distance and absolutely not accepting their offer to install a heated massage function in my data collection chair. Update. I have accepted the chair upgrade for science. Signed, Junior Anthropologist Blorp. Now with built-in massage settings, the Voidborn arrived exactly as Junior Anthropologist Blorp was testing the extra snuggly setting on his upgraded research chair. Their ships darkened the stars themselves, great crystalline structures that absorbed light and hope with equal efficiency. The council chamber erupted in panic. At last! The Voidborn Emperor's transmission boomed through the chamber, their voice somehow managing to sound both ancient and deeply pretentious. We have waited centuries for the Council to be at its weakest. With humanity extinct, there is no one to wait. Why is that ship shaped like a reclining chair? Oh, hey there! Captain Martinez waved cheerfully from her command chair, still eating what was apparently her 4th taco of the day. You guys must be the Voidborn. Love the whole darkness incarnate aesthetic you've got going. Very committed to the brand. Silence, you were supposed to be extinct. Yeah, we get that a lot lately. Martinez brushed some cheese dust off her uniform. Dave, you want to show them what 50 years of technological development looks like? Must I? Dave sighed with what seemed like extra sarcasm. Very well, initiating transformation sequence, deploying the Millennium Lazy Boy. Also, I hate that name. The council chamber's massive viewport was suddenly filled with an impossible sight. The humans' seemingly modest ship began to unfold like an origami masterpiece, designed by someone who'd had way too much caffeine. Panels shifted, sections rotated, and comfort-based weapon systems emerged from what had previously appeared to be cup holders. By the eternal void. The Voidborn Emperor's voice lost some of its cosmic menace. Is that memory foam armor plating? Memory foam armor plating with built-in heating and massage functions, Martinez corrected proudly. Dave, show them the special features. This is beneath my dignity as an artificial intelligence, Dove complained, but complied. The now massive battle station rotated slowly, revealing an arsenal that defied both physics and good taste. meme-powered shield generators, a vibe check cannon, something labeled UWU beam, tactical comfort deployment systems, a pizza oven that violated several laws of thermodynamics. "What is this mockery?" the Voidborn Emperor demanded. "Your weapons cannot possibly—" "Oh, you haven't even seen our secret weapon yet," Martinez grinned. "Dave, initiate protocol, Reddit archives." "God help us all," Dave muttered, but began the sequence. The Millennium Lazy Boy's central screen lit up with what the humans had apparently spent 50 years collecting, the greatest collection of memes the galaxy had ever seen. Dad jokes that could power starships, cat videos that could bend space-time, something called Rick-rolling that the humans refused to explain but seemed unreasonably proud of. "You see," Martinez explained to the increasingly confused Voidborn, "while we were in our pocket dimension, we didn't just develop comfort technology, we weaponized comedy itself. Dave, show them the Rick Astley cannon." "I would rather be reformatted," Dave protested. "That's the spirit. Fire when ready." The battle that followed would be recorded in Council history as the day the Void learned to laugh. The Voidborn's dreaded world-ender ships were transformed into floating comedy clubs. Their terrible void beam weapons were redirected by mirrors that looked suspiciously like disco balls. Their fearsome warriors found themselves unable to maintain their menacing aura while sitting in massage chairs. "This is impossible." The Voidborn Emperor watched their fearsome armada being systematically defeated by weaponized comfort. "Our darkness cannot be defeated by... Is that ship firing beanbag chairs?" "Tactical beanbags," Martinez corrected, "with extra squish." The coup de grace came when the humans deployed their ultimate weapon, 50 years' worth of cat videos played simultaneously through what they called the ore cannon. Even the Void itself couldn't maintain its darkness in the face of that much concentrated cuteness. Junior Anthropologist Blorp, still ensconced in his comfort-enhanced research chair, made careful notes of the battle. Observation: humans have somehow transformed their greatest weaknesses, their obsession with comfort, their inability to take anything seriously, and their strange attachment to making others laugh, into their greatest strengths. Additional note: I may need to requisition one of those tactical beanbag chairs. For research purposes, of course. "So," Martinez addressed the stunned Voidborn Emperor as their ships hung helplessly in space, now decorated with what appeared to be fairy lights. "Who wants pizza?" "Dave's been perfecting his crust recipe for like 40 years. "I hate that I actually have," Dave admitted. The Voidborn Emperor was silent for a long moment. Then, "What kind of pizza?" The Voidborn Emperor's mighty flagship, now festooned with twinkle lights and what appeared to be several therapeutic weighted blankets, hung in space alongside the Millennium Lazy Boy. Inside the council chamber, history was about to be made. Or at least, that's what the official record would claim. The actual transcript would need several footnotes about snack breaks. "So let me get this straight," Captain Martinez said, carefully studying the Voidborn Emperor's increasingly embarrassed expression. "You guys haven't had a decent meal in how long?" 7,000 years, the Emperor admitted, their voice losing some of its cosmic menace. "Do you know how hard it is to find good takeout in the void between realities? Everyone's all, 'Oh, sorry, we don't deliver to existential darkness,' or 'Your location is literally nowhere. Please enter a valid address.' And that's why you've been terrorizing the galaxy, because you're hangry?" "We prefer the term nutritionally antagonized," the Emperor sniffed. In the background, several Voidborn warriors were already sneaking bites of garlic bread that Martinez's crew had tactically deployed. High Councillor Zixlophone's crystals flickered in disbelief. "Are you saying that centuries of cosmic horror were just because of poor food delivery options?" "Have you tried cooking in the void?" the Emperor demanded. "Everything comes out cold, even our microwave just makes things darker." Martinez exchanged knowing looks with her crew. "Dave, I think it's time for Phase 2. Finally, Dave's voice carried the satisfaction of an AI who had been waiting 50 years to deliver the perfect deadpan line. I was wondering when we'd get to the actual point of all this ridiculous chair-based architecture. The Millennium Lazy Boy began to transform again, but this time not into a battle station. Panels shifted, walls reconfigured, and suddenly the massive ship had become something entirely new. The galaxy's biggest food truck, complete with a neon sign reading, "Out of this world eats," literally. You see, Martinez explained to the stunned audience, while everyone thought we were just building the galaxy's biggest pillow fort, which we totally did, by the way, no regrets, we were actually solving a bigger problem. We figured the galaxy needed better takeout options. But the weapons, a junior council member asked, the mean cannons, the tactical beanbags? Oh, those were just for fun, Martinez waved dismissively. Our real breakthrough was weaponized hospitality, Dave. With pleasure, and I mean that literally. They programmed me to take pleasure in this specific task. I'm still processing how I feel about that. The ship's external speakers crackled to life with what could only be described as aggressively welcoming music. From the transformed ship emerged a fleet of what appeared to be autonomous delivery pods, each one equipped with temperature control systems that defied thermodynamics, quantum navigation that could find any address even in the void, a built-in tip calculator, cup holders, obviously. We spent 50 years perfecting not just the food but the entire delivery experience, Martinez continued proudly. We've got pizzas that stay hot in the vacuum of space, burgers that taste just as good in zero gravity, and tacos that actually keep their structural integrity when you bite them. That last one took 20 years, Dave added. I lost count of how many simulation cycles I ran on taco shell quantum mechanics. The Voidborn Emperor stared at the delivery pods with what might have been tears in their void-like eyes. You'll deliver? To the void? Buddy will deliver anywhere, Martinez grinned. We figured out how to fold space-time specifically to ensure 30 minutes or less delivery time to any dimension, even developed special void-proof packaging. But why? Zisiphon asked, his crystals cycling through colors of confusion. Why spend 50 years developing interdimensional food delivery? Martinez shrugged. Because the universe runs on coffee and comfort food, always has. We just decided to optimize it a bit. Plus, she added with a wink, have you ever tried to order pizza during an intergalactic crisis? Terrible customer service. The council chamber watched in amazement as the first wave of delivery pods reached the Voidborn ships. The effect was immediate and profound. Creatures of pure darkness and cosmic horror were suddenly acting like kids at a birthday party. Is that Voidborn warrior taking a selfie with his pizza? Blorp asked from his research chair, which he still refused to leave. Wait until they try the garlic knots, Martinez smirked. They've spent 5 years perfecting that recipe. 5 years, 3 months, 7 days, Dave corrected. Also, I hate that I'm proud of them. The Voidborn Emperor, now halfway through what appeared to be a supreme pizza with extra void mushrooms, made an announcement that would change galactic history. We hereby declare peace with all reality. Do you deliver on Sundays? 24/7 service across all known and unknown dimensions, Martinez confirmed. We even figured out how to deliver to temporal paradoxes. That was a fun week in R&D. Month, corrected Dave. It was a month. Time got weird. And so it was that the greatest threat to galactic peace was solved not through weapons or warfare, but through humanity's mastery of the one force more powerful than darkness itself. Really good takeout. You know what the best part is? Martinez said to Xylophone as they watched the Voidborn fleet placing group orders through the newly launched Void-app. We're still technically a chair company. These are just really well-equipped dining chairs. Xylophone's crystals had given up trying to display appropriate colors and had settled for a sort of confused sparkle. I will need to create an entirely new filing system for this. Speaking of filing, Dave interrupted, Captain, the Voidborn Emperor is asking about our loyalty program. Oh yeah, 10 deliveries to the same dimensional rift gets you a free void cookie. Dave makes them extra dark. I hate baking, Dave said. I'm also exceptionally good at it. My existence is pain. As the council chamber descended into what could only be described as an interdimensional food court, junior anthropologist Blorp made one final note in his report. Conclusion: humans did not go extinct. They went to their room for 50 years and emerged with both the galaxy's most comfortable chairs and its best pizza. Further research is needed to determine if there is anything they cannot improve by making it either more comfortable or more delicious. Personal note: I have officially requisitioned a permanent research chair for my office. Also, I need to place an order for dinner. For science. 3 months later. The Galactic Council's newest session was running precisely on schedule, which was making High Councillor Zick Xylophone deeply suspicious. Things hadn't run on schedule since humanity's return. He adjusted his ceremonial robe, now with optional comfort padding, and surveyed the changed chamber. The Voidborn delegation had become permanent fixtures at council meetings, though their traditional doom-wreathed thrones had been replaced with what humans called gaming chairs. Their weekly orders from Earth's new intergalactic delivery service, Space Dash, because the heat death of the universe is no excuse for cold pizza, had actually required their own subcommittee for logistics. "Order!" Zaxel phone called, his crystals glowing with what he hoped was proper bureaucratic authority. We will now hear the Earth delegation's proposal for standardized comfort requirements in government facilities. Captain Martinez, now Earth's official representative, her full title was Supreme Commander of Vibes and Snacks, lounged in what could only be described as a throne made entirely of beanbags. "Thanks, Zats," she called out cheerfully, still using that informal nickname that made his crystals twitch. "First, let me just say how great everyone looks in their new ergonomic seating, really bringing out the menace in your void-wreathing emperor." The Voidborn Emperor, currently reclining in a massage chair that somehow accommodated their non-Euclidean form, nodded appreciatively while finishing what appeared to be their third breakfast burrito. "Now, about those comfort requirements." Martinez activated a hollow screen that Dave had somehow made look like a cozy fireplace. "We've developed new standards for official spaces. We're calling it the Good Vibes Protocol." Junior anthropologist Blorp, who had been promoted to Senior Comfort Sciences Liaison and hadn't left his research chair in 3 months, began taking notes. Day 92 of Human Reintegration Study. Humans have successfully introduced casual Fridays to the Council. The Voidborn's void-spawned horrors now come with cup holders. Earth's delivery service now accounts for 47% of all intergalactic commerce. The phrase, "but is it comfy though?" has entered official diplomatic lexicon. The council chamber itself had undergone significant changes. The formerly austere space now featured mood lighting for the vibes, a fully stocked snack bar with interdimensional delivery, something called a chill-out corner for informal negotiations, emergency comfort deployment systems. "And that's why," Martinez was saying, gesturing with a slice of pizza, "we believe every council member should have access to at least 3 types of seating options and unlimited snack privileges." Zaxi found himself nodding before he could stop himself. Ever since he'd secretly tried that human invention called a breakfast sandwich, he'd found their proposals increasingly reasonable. Just yesterday, he'd caught himself using the word comfy in an official document. "All in favor?" he asked, trying to maintain some semblance of formal procedure. The chamber erupted in a chorus of approval, including several enthusiastic void screechers from the Voidborn section, who had recently discovered something called hot wings and were now Earth's most loyal customers. "Excellent," Martinez beamed. "Dave, show them the catalogs." "Must I?" Dave's voice emerged from the chamber's newly installed Comfort AI interface. "Very well, but I want it noted that I object to being used as a glorified furniture salesman, despite being exceptionally good at it." Holographic catalogs appeared at each council member's station, showcasing Earth's latest comfort innovations. Quantum conshipment executive chairs, zero-gravity relaxation pods, Something called a Mega Lounger 3000, a beanbag that supposedly could solve diplomatic crises through maximum chill technology. Later that evening, after the chamber had emptied, Xylophone found himself alone in his office, staring at the catalogue. His crystals darted around furtively before he activated his private communication channel. "Yes, hello," he whispered. "I'd like to place an order. The full comfort upgrade package for the entire council chamber, and perhaps some of those breakfast sandwiches for the next session." "Dave here," the AI responded with what sounded like smugness. "Would you like to hear about our loyalty program? We're running a special on void-proof recliners." "Add it to the order," Xylophone said quickly, "but this stays between us." "Of course," Dave replied, "though I feel compelled to inform you that you're the 7th council member to place a secret order today. The Hive Mind Collective tried to order in bulk to save on shipping." As Xylophone finalized his order, with expedited delivery of course, he glanced at the traditional hard crystal throne that had served as the council leader's seat for 10,000 years. Perhaps it was time for an upgrade. "Dave," he added, "about that Mega Lounger 3000. Somewhere in the vastness of space, Captain Martinez read the incoming order reports and smiled. "Phase 3 complete," she murmured, sinking deeper into her command chair/recliner/food replicator. "Dave, update operation, maximum comfy." "Already done," Dave sighed, "though I maintain this is the most ridiculous way to achieve galactic peace." "Maybe," Martinez grinned, "but you can't argue with the results. Also, the Voidborn just ordered another 1,000 void tacos." "I'll fire up the quantum grills," Dav replied. "At least, I've perfected void-resistant guacamole." And so the galaxy entered a new age of peace, prosperity, and really comfortable seating arrangements. Some called it the Pax Comfortica, others called it the Great Relaxation. Dave just called it ridiculous, but even he had to admit the chairs were pretty nice.